What's up, everybody? Keith Mitchell here from the Outer Haven Productions, and I'm making this video because, well, I said I wasn't going to, but then I got tired of listening and watching all the discourse regarding Elden Ring on Twitter and on other internet locations, forums, Reddit, things of that nature. So before I go into this, I really want to say that I really enjoyed Elden Ring. I'm a big fan of From Software titles and games of that particular genre. Not just Soulsborne, but like Neo, The Surge, games like that. And I really love Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and I'm really loving the heck out of Elden Ring. I've got like 200 hours just on the PC version alone. And that's because I did get access to the game about 11 days ahead of most people, so big thanks to Bandai Namco for that. So, that out of the way, also check out our review of Elden Ring over at outerhaven.net. Forgot to plug that because you gotta do that here on YouTube. There's been a lot of back and forth regarding Elden Ring, especially on Twitter, and there's like several different sides, which is unusual because usually there's a for, a pro, and an against side, but there's like three sides to this, and I just want to interject, throw in my thoughts. And I did tell people that I wasn't going to do this, but I'm doing it right now because I'm getting really tired of the nonsense. So we've got two main things I'm going to talk about here, and most of it might be ranting, so I apologize if it does come out that I am ranting. But two things here. We've got the whole pause button debate, and then we've got difficulty. So let's just jump right in because I know I'm going to ramble on here, but let's get this out of the way. So I'm for the pause button in games like this. Now hear me out. I'm 45 years old, okay? I have a family. I have 2 kids. I have a wife. I have 2 stupid dogs. I have a job. I have other things to worry about. I run the Outer Haven. I've got people ringing my doorbell and things of that nature. Pause button is great, okay? But at the same time, I do think that it's important for a game that has online components to continue its flow of the game, if you understand what I'm saying. So let's break this down. Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, they all have an online component where you can get invaded, you can play with friends online, things of that nature. Sekiro doesn't have that, and I'm keeping this conversation just within From Software games. Sekiro doesn't have an online component unless you talk about the third-party fan-made mod, which doesn't count in this equation. There is a pause button in Sekiro. Okay. Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne also have offline component. They have online and offline component. When you play offline, there is no pause button. Okay. Elden Ring is the same way. It's an online and an offline component. You play online, there's no pause button. When you're not online, there's no pause button. And I kind of disagree with that. I do think that if you're not playing online, you should be able to pause your game at any time. And the reason for that is, again, no online component. There's no invasions. And yes, I know Elden Ring handles invasion differently, but there's no invasions. There's no co-op. So if the doorbell rings, or my kids say they need me, or my wife is yelling at me, or anything that happens, right? Anything like that just occurs, I should be able to just hit the pause on my keyboard or my controller and walk away. Granted, I play on the PC most of the time. Even though we do have Stutterfest, we do have mods that allow us to pause the game now. For those playing on Xbox and PlayStation, they aren't afforded that ability, that functionality. And that's something that I believe should be included in the game. I said it before and I'll say it again. If I'm playing offline, I should be able to pause the button. That's it. There should be no if, ands, or but. A pause should be there for offline play. If you're online playing and you know you're going to get invaded, or you could be summoned at any time, or anything. Online components, there's no pause. I agree 100% because that can ruin the flow. I also don't think that there should be ability to pause the game when you enter a boss. Just because when you're fighting a boss, either you're kicking their butt or they're kicking your butt. And if you're kicking their butt, you don't want to stop because you're in the motion, you're in the flow, you're in the zone, you're kicking their butt, and you just want the encounter to be over and done with. When you're getting your butt kicked, you just probably reset and just say, you know what, or you just walk up and let them kill you. So it's that simple. It doesn't need to be a pause button there. So that's what I think. That's how I feel about the pause button. I really do think that From Software should have reevaluated that and given offline mode a pause button. Now, granted, Xbox Series X and S can go into suspend mode. PlayStation 5 can go into suspend mode, and it's fine. You have your pause. And other people said that if you actually go to the in-game map, or I forget something they're doing now, that you can actually pause. I haven't tried that because again, I play mostly on the PC, so it doesn't really affect me. But I also have access to that mod where it allows you to pause the game. That said, you know, online, no pause. There's no beef there. I don't really care. There should be no online. There should be no pause online. Squash that. I'm at no pause online. Pause when offline. There's where I stand. You're probably saying, Keith, you can't do that. You have to pick a side. I ain't picking no side because that's just what it is. If you're playing offline games, all offline games have a pause. Sekiro has a pause. That's it. That's all you need to know. That's it. We're done. Done. See, that was pretty easy. When it comes to difficulty, this is a tough one. All right. Difficulty and accessibility. And I'll be honest with you, when I first started playing these games, I really thought that Demon's Souls was one of the hardest games ever. And this is somebody who played multiple playthroughs of Mega Man 2, played Double Dragon 1 and 2. I grew up in the era of the NES and the Sega Genesis and the Sega Master System and TurboGrafx. Those games were hard. So when I played Demon's Souls, it wasn't that it was hard, it was just something completely different. I didn't know how to react, and I got my butt kicked. But as I learned to play the game, it became a lot easier. And Demon's Souls is and will always be one of my favorite games of all time, just like Dark Souls and now Elden Ring is. However, I used to be one of those people that would be like, you know what, if you can't play this game, you suck, get good. I admit I used to be one of those toxic people, and I didn't say that directly to people's faces, but I would always say, hey, maybe you should learn to play the game better, maybe you should learn these encounters. And as I've gotten older, as I watch people play the game, as I play the games myself, and I realized that what I was saying was wrong. It was completely wrong, because not everybody likes the same stuff that I like. Not everybody plays the same games that I play, and not everybody who plays the same games that I play plays the games the way that I do. Some people might say, oh, as you get older, you get slower and your reactions are terrible. All right, I know some 20-year-olds who can't play Dark Souls to save their life, and vice versa. You know, so we can't toss that in. It's nothing to do with age or ability. It's the mindset, and I hate saying get good, but I'm just using that as an example. So let's jump into this more specifically. So what I'm trying to get at here is, I now tell people when they ask me about a game like Elden Ring or Dark Souls, I'm 100% honest with them. I go, hey, do you consider yourself a casual gamer? Do you like games that might test you, cause you to toss your controller across the room onto a floor? Do you play games that make you go into a fury of rage? And if they tell me no, they can't stand those kind of games, I'm straight up and go, hey, this is not the game for you. I've had so many people ask me about Elden Ring and should they play it, and because I know them, I straight up tell them, no, this is not a game you should play. This is not a game for casuals. And I don't mean casual as in filthy, dirty casual. I mean as in you play the game for 30 minutes, maybe an hour tops, and then that's it. A game like Elden Ring demands your time. It's an open world game. It's Dark Souls. It's abusive. It's worse than being in an abusive relationship, because it will kick your butt. It will not be sorry. It will continue to do so until you learn all the ins and outs of this game. That's just how it is. So I don't recommend this game for people who don't have the mindset, who don't have the time to learn a game like this. And that's just the way it is. And unfortunately, Miyazaki has said, I'm going to continue to make games like this. And I like that. I like that fact that he said that. But this also goes into my other concern, debate, whatever you want to call it, about games like this. Because with difficulty, there's also a debate with, should games like this have an easy mode? And yes, they should. There should be a toggle where you can adjust the difficulty. Now, hear me out before you jump down my throat. I know there's a lot of people who play these games, and I'm not going to call you elitist, but you have your own thoughts and opinions about how this should run, and that's cool. Everybody is allowed to have an opinion. It's your prerogative. That's cool. However, these games are not made specifically for you. They did not go and say, we're going to make Dark Souls or Elden Ring for Joe. Because if that was the case, it would be called Joe Souls. It's not. This is a game for everybody. Dark Souls, Demon's Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring, The Surge 2, Neo 2, Lords of the Fallen, even though that was a terrible game. These are games made for everybody who wants to play these games. So that said, should they have a difficulty toggle? Should there be a difficulty slider? And I firmly believe that yes, there should be. There are other games who have difficulty sliders. And just because a game has this in the game doesn't mean that you have to use it. And in fact, there are plenty of other games that have a difficulty slider, and if you toggle that on and you lower difficulty, you're locked in that for the rest of the game. That's it. And there are some games, I'm not going to mention which ones, there are some games that when you do that and they lock you in, they put something on your screen, or anytime you die or something, they pretty much say you're playing in this mode. There was a shoot 'em up that I played a while ago, a bullet hell game that literally did that. I forgot the name of that game, but it kind of got to the point where it was embarrassing saying chicken or you can't play a game on hard mode. And I didn't agree with the comments, and I wrote the developer, but you know, it is what it is. For a game like Elden Ring, it's not going to hurt the hardcore, the elitists, the people who like showing off that they can parry all the bosses with one shield and walk in naked and one-shot the boss. It's fine if you can do that, fantastic. There are thousands of people who play Elden Ring who can't do that, who don't have the time to master everything the boss does. And that's cool. Everybody plays the game the way they want to play it. Look, I got 200 hours in Elden Ring. Not because I was terrible, because I was writing guides, I was walking people through the game, I was recording video. But for the most part, I was helping people get through the game because that was something I like to do with Dark Souls. And the Dark Souls servers for PC are still offline. Bandai Namco and From Software, what the hell is going on? Okay, had to get that out of my system. I like helping people get through these games. Not because I'm showing off, but because I want other people to enjoy these games. I have a friend who bought Elden Ring and tells me that he wants to get better at this game, but he completely sucks at it. And I'm always offering to help him get through the game. And he tells me, no, I want to get through it myself. But when I contact him, I say, hey, where'd you go? What's going on? I haven't beat the first boss yet. Dude, I'm here to help you. I don't want your help. I want to do it by myself. And I commend him for that. But there are people out there that are like, yo, can you help me out? Can you help me out? And I'm like, cool, yeah, sure, whatever. Because I enjoy these games. I have mastered these games. These games are no problem. But for people who want to learn these games as well, but don't have the time or don't have the mentality or just don't have the temperament, a toggle mode would be great for them. It's not embarrassing. It's not belittling those people because they can't handle a hard game. It's making these games more accessible, and accessible, I mean, everybody should be able to play them. Not accessible as in handicap, because if you want to get into that conversation, which I don't think we should right now, but I fully think that every game should have accessibility options for people who are not fully capable of playing these games. Those people should not be excluded whatsoever. And you know, From Software games have always been terrible with that accessibility mindset. I'm not going to get into that right now, okay? For those who want to play these games, there should be a toggle for difficulty. That's it. End the conversation. There should be one in this game. It's not going to cause Super Omega Elden Ring man to lose any sleep because, oh my god, there's a difficulty slider in the game. What if people use it? What if people use it? Who cares? If you want to play this game at the hardest of the hardest and you want to play naked with level 1 weapons, then fantastic. More power to you. But if the guy down the street who likes these games, wants to get involved in these games, but doesn't have the ability to play these games as well as you, and maybe needs some help, then fine. Give him the ability to play these games. The mindset that these games are only made for certain people is dumb. It's silly. It has no place in gaming anymore, and it's got to go. And again, this is somebody who owns every copy of Dark Souls for every platform. I own Elden Ring on Xbox, on PlayStation, on PC. I own Demon Souls on PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 5. I have all these games, Neo, The Surge, all of them, and I love them. But when I try and recommend these games to friends, they go, these games are too hard. And they're missing out on great games. They're missing out on fantastic adventures that probably would allow them to play had they had the ability to lower difficulties. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say. So, pause button. Offline should be there. Online should not be there. From Software, make it happen. Or, you know, people will just keep making mods for the PC. And for those who are on the console, just yank your damn cord out and pray data doesn't get messed up. As far as a difficulty, there definitely should be a slider in place to allow people to play at their own level. It's not going to hurt anybody. We just need to stop that. Simply, we just need to stop that. We need to stop telling people to get good because that's toxic. It needs to go away. And I've said everything I want to say, and it came in about 15 minutes. I've spoken entirely too long, but unfortunately, I had some stuff to say. whether you like it or not. I'm sorry if you do like it or don't like it. Either way, leave a comment below. I would love to know what you think about this. If you like the video, thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, thumbs down. But please subscribe to his channel. We're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers before the year's out. We're at 8,000, 8.4 thousand. So we're making it there. Slowly but surely we're rising up. And I kind of miss doing these rants on YouTube. Well, talks. Unfortunately, you don't get to see my beautiful face because I kind of broke my webcam. Not sure what I did. Either that or I broke my computer. Either one, it'll be fixed soon. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And be sure to come back often. And thank you.